Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be teaching you a card trick that I used to perform a lot back in my office days before I became a magician. In fact, it wasn't unusual for somebody to stop by my workspace and say, "Hey Wayne, can you show Joe here that card trick?" This is one of them. So I'm going to teach you the trick, and stay tuned to the end because I will be offering tips and insights into how you can be successful with this trick. Let's get started. I have a little theory that a like process should come up with a like conclusion. So we're going to try a little experiment here. 2 decks of cards. They are just ordinary cards here, but different backs. So I'd like you to choose one of the decks. Whichever one you choose is the one you're going to use. Okay, you took the green one and I'll take the red one. Go ahead, take them and go ahead and just give it a mix any way you like it. Yeah, if you... Okay, however you want to mix them. It's all up to you. Cut the cards, shuffle them. So we're creating a like process, correct? You happy they're mixed up? Probably as mixed up as my brother-in-law. So anyway, go ahead, look, make sure it's a good distribution. You happy with it? Okay, great. Put your deck on the table. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch, because just to randomize things a little more. All right, now here's what you're going to mirror me. So you're going to pick up half the deck, just the way I am, and put it to this side. Go ahead. And what I want you to do is look at the card you cut to and memorize it. Okay, you got it? All right, now place the card over here. Now complete the cut. Perfect, and let's give it one more cut. However you like. Excellent, and we're going to switch decks again to make it even more random. Now that you have the deck, go ahead and give it another cut. Now we have kind of mirrored each other. We've actually done a series of processes that were almost identical, and we're going to try and see if we have a similar result. So what I'd like you to do is just go through the deck and try and find your card. Don't show it to me yet, but just find your card and hold it just like this. And like methodology, maybe a like conclusion. I don't know. What was the card?
9 of diamonds.
Good. Turn yours over, and you picked the 9 of diamonds. Well, I think I did the exact same thing because I came up with the 9 of diamonds as well. This is a great trick. Completely impromptu, which is why I like it. All you need are 2 decks of cards, and if you follow my instructions, you'll be able to do this trick. Just 2 ordinary decks of cards. What I like to do is have the spectator select one of the decks and tell them that whichever deck they select is one they'll work with. So I think in this case we'll have the spectator select the green deck, and I will be working with the red deck. And I like to set up the premise that if you do a similar kind of procedure, that you should have a similar outcome. It's kind of like the scientific principle, I guess, scientific method, whereas if you do similar techniques, you will have a similar outcome. Anyway, you just have them mix up the cards any way you like, and you just kind of make sure that you're both mixing the cards. It really doesn't matter. Now, once you go through the mixing process, you turn over the cards. I like to say, make sure it looks pretty random, and you have them look at their cards. Now, what you're doing is you're looking at your cards, saying that you're looking for a randomness in the deck, but all you're doing is remembering the bottom card. And in my case, it happens to be the 3 of hearts. It could be any card because we've actually mixed up the deck. But it is the 3 of hearts. And they're gonna, and obviously they're not thinking anything at this point. They're just looking at their cards. So I'm remembering 3 of hearts, whatever the card is on the bottom. Now at this juncture, you trade decks. Now it's important here because this is the crucial part. I always tell the spectator to mirror what I'm doing. Act like it's a mirror. So when I say I want you to cut the cards, I want to make sure they cut the cards in the same direction I'm cutting. See, I'm cutting this way, and I want them to cut it this way. So far everything's random. Just remember 3 of hearts. Now, and just to refresh your memory, 3 of hearts is over here on the bottom. Now, once they cut these cards here, you look at this card. So the spectator's looking at this card, and you're looking at this card. Now, spectators think you're memorizing this card here. You're not, because you don't care. All you have to remember is the 3 of hearts right here. Now, the spectator is memorizing this card, which happens to be the 3 of spades. Completely random. So both of us are looking at our cards. They're memorizing the card over here. You're just looking at this one and not caring about it. Don't memorize it. Don't get mixed up. Then you tell them to mirror you and put the cards over here, and now complete the cut. Now on this end, we don't care what happens, but over here we still have the 3 of hearts on the bottom, so the 3 of hearts goes over their card. Now you can cut the deck. It doesn't matter if you cut the deck at this point, because it doesn't change the order. Now switch, and you can keep cutting the decks if you like. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. Now, after some mixing, you tell the spectator we're going to find our cards, because we've done a similar procedure which should have a similar outcome. So what you do is, they're going to just look for their card. What you're doing is looking through the deck and looking for that 3 of hearts. And once you find the 3 of hearts, which is right there, 3 of hearts, I know the card that is underneath is their card, which is the 3 of spades. Now you take out your card, and of course they're going to take out the 3 of spades. And then at the end you conclude we did a similar procedure, we want a similar outcome. You turn your cards over, and you will both have the same card. This is a well-known trick known as do as I do. The key thing here is that you need to really control the spectator and suggest what they do, which is why you notice I make a big deal out of mirroring. I tell the spectator to mirror me, because what happens is it's important that the spectator cuts the cards in a certain way. If you tell a person to just cut the cards, they're going to cut it in a random way, and then you won't be able to follow and see where that key card is. So that's the reason why I came up with this idea of having them mirror me, and this trick is all about you doing what I do, and we come out with the same outcome. So by mirroring after you swap decks, you can move the deck from side to side, and then you know exactly where that key card is at all times. The other thing is, when a person looks at the card, oftentimes their tendency is to put the card back where it was and then close it, and of course you need that bottom card to go on top of their card in order for this trick to work. So that's why that mirroring idea is very important for the success of this trick. I like the idea at the beginning to offer a free choice of the decks of cards. So by the way, it's good to have, I think, different color cards so you have a contrast, and then the person can select one of them. It just introduces one randomizing factor before you get into this whole notion of creating a like procedure and a like outcome. Feel free to play along in this trick and use your personality, because when people are following you, now in the demo part of this trick when I was performing it, I didn't make a big deal out of it, but I remember in the old days when I used to do this trick, I used to make the person do everything I did. I would sit there and shuffle, and they would shuffle. I'd cut it, and they'd cut it, and it offered a lot of interaction and humor. So I think as you perform this for more and more people, you'll find gradually these little elements will come in, these little bits that'll make the trick even more entertaining. So anyway, I hope you have fun with this trick. Thanks so much for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.